All right, yo, what is up, guys? Wednesday, July the 14th, 2021. Hope you are all doing well. As you can see, we are finally back in the stew, and it feels good to be back in studio, guys. Appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you so much for the love and support. Appreciate you guys being flexible, rolling with the punches. I know it's been crazy in regards to commuting, going back and forth between helping out with family and being at the studio, but I'm happy to say we are in the studio at least for the rest of this week. So very excited. Again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. July the 14th, 2021. Taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Let me be sure the phone lines are open. It looks like, yes, they are officially open. 843-790-3377, guys. It's 843-790-3377. We've had news dropping all morning. News dropping actually as we went live with Mike Wyman, Gamecocks wide receiver, and in the transfer portal, also, of course, Skylar Meade taking over the head coaching job at Troy. Huge day for the Spurs Up Show as well, as we are going to be live at Tin Roof. As you see behind me, we finally have the whiteboard back to the Daily Crow. Thank goodness. We've got the ring light back. It feels good, like I said, to be back in studio. We got a packed day, a very, very busy day for TSUS, and that's just the way we like them. Guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Before we get rolling with everything, because like I said, we got a lot to get into, I want to tell you about our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm, because the Daily Crow is presented to you by our friends at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Guys, they're young but experienced and aggressive attorneys, both former prosecutors who used to represent insurance companies but switching sides. They both worked at larger law firms where they've represented hundreds of clients at a time, and they both left to start their own law firm because they understand, guys, you're not just a line item, you're not just a number, you are a real human being, and you should be treated as such and taken care of in whatever it is you need. They're a small boutique law firm that treats their clients like family. They're going to know who you are and treat you like a client, not a number. They handle injury cases that arise from car accidents and work accidents. Guys, do not try to take on the insurance company yourself. You've been involved in any type of accident, whether it be auto, work, whatever it is. The last thing you need to worry about is paperwork, dealing with the insurance company. Let the experts over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm handle it for you, guys. They use the latest technology to make representation efficient yet effective. Again, let them take care of everything for you. You don't even pay them unless they recover money for you. Rami's in Columbia, Curtis is in Charleston. They handle cases statewide. They also offer virtual or in-person consultations at no charge. Guys, give them a call today in Columbia, 803-973-0304, or in Somerville, 843-388-3368. Or, of course, guys, your one-stop shop, their website, dsinjurylaw.com. That's dsinjurylaw.com for more information. Again, guys, it's our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. Guys, what is up? I see Todd Smith, Travie, Brennan M., John Kruger, Justin Langford, my guy John Rice, Rob Youngson, Savannah Webster, Phil. What's going on? Also, if you are in the Big Cock Club Discord, head over to TDC Questions to make sure your questions are answered. Phil in there already says daily weather report, New Hampshire, 72 degrees and cloudy. Love to hear it. It is still warm here, Phil. It is still hot. It's still hot. Todd Smith says, you ready for some football? Yes, 52 days away. Happy hump day, everyone. Again, appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you guys so much for rolling with the punches, being flexible. It feels good to be back. Dude, when's the last time we did a Daily Crow in studio? I mean, it literally feels like it's been forever. I did an interview earlier this morning. First time in studio. I think that's the first time I've done an interview in the studio in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe. So been quite a while. Feels good to be back. Appreciate you all tuning in. Appreciate you guys all rolling with the punches. Again, a lot to get into. Would love to take your questions, comments. Skylar Meade taking over Gamecocks pitching coach, now the head coach for Troy University, the Trojans. Congratulations to Coach Skylar Meade. Gamecocks wide receiver Mike Wyman has entered the transfer portal. So that is an update with Gamecocks football. Also, of course, we've got still the rumors with Keenan Nelson. I see Savannah Webster talking about it. Yeah, so a lot going on. And like I said, for TSUS specifically, we got a ton going on today. We're recording tomorrow's show, the podcast. We've got, as you see behind me, Wednesdays at Tin Roof starting tonight, 5 to 7. We'll be live from there at 5 o'clock, streaming also on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And And then, of course, we're streaming tonight, 9 o'clock kickoff. We will take on East Carolina. And for those that tuned in, you can tell those who didn't, it's going to be very interesting playing on Heisman. I'm just going to leave it at that because it was more of a grind than it should have been against FCS Midwest. I'll just put it that way. Let's see. Let's start with this. Adam Ritter says, why would Skylar Meade leave? Great question, Ritter. It's very simple. I know you're an SEC pitching coach, but you get the opportunity to be a head coach. It makes sense for you and your family, and the money makes sense. It's an opportunity you simply can't turn down, Ritter. You can't turn it down. Skylan, I just missed your call. Call me back. Skylan, call me back. I don't know how I just missed your call. I clicked it, and it didn't go. Justin, what's going on? Happy hump day. Brian Welch says your season record prediction scares the shit out of me because it's way too spot on for a typical Gamecock season by starting 4-2 and ending 1-5. Well, Brian, you'll have to see what the rest of my predictions are tomorrow's show. I was actually thinking even maybe if you tune in tonight, revealing them early at our live show at 10. I probably won't, honestly, because the people, the folks that are going to be out and about, we'll probably talk a lot tonight, more so even about the first 6 games and, just what's going on and my overall thoughts in regards to that. But a lot to get into, man. This is the perfect time for the Wednesdays at 10 Roof to get kicked off because, man, there is so much happening right now. It's insane. We might have to go back to 5 shows a week earlier than I planned. I don't know. Hold on, let's see. My guy hitting me up like, hey, man, you can't tell anybody, but Skylar Meade's gone. It's like, we know. We know he's gone. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. Yeah, so again, anyway, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Savannah Webster says, who do we want to replace Meade? Well, I'll be honest with you, Savannah. I cannot, name off a laundry list of pitching coaches and guys that, we should go get this guy or that guy or that guy. But, I expect Mark Kingston to go out and get a proven commodity, a guy who, like I said, is proven as a big-time pitching coach. And, I would expect nothing less from Mark Kingston. Obviously, it's an extremely important position to fill on your staff. Also, by the way, Trip Couch has gone to Arizona, assistant and recruiting coordinator. But, yeah, the big one's Skylar Meade. Yeah, you got to find a quality pitching coach. That's a really big deal. Listen, I thought you're always going to get criticized and critiqued when you're in that type of position, when you're the pitching coach in an SEC school. But I thought Skylar Meade got way too much criticism from fans. I kept telling you guys over and over, Skylar Meade is one of the best young up-and-coming coaches in the game. And, I think you're obviously seeing that. There's a reason why he got that head coaching opportunity at Troy. Todd Smith, thank you, sir. Todd, appreciate you, Todd. Thank you. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Todd. Yes, if you want to give back to the show, contribute to the business, contribute to the content, contribute to everything we do. And you're on YouTube, Super Chat, Super Stickers, you have that ability. Also, hey, if you haven't joined the Big Cock Club, I highly suggest you do so. We've actually got a brand new perk we're rolling out later today that was actually suggested by the members of the Big Cock Club. We are going to now give you guys the opportunity. We do these guest interviews and all that, and I spend time asking questions and all that. We're now going to have a segment at the end of the interviews where we're going to take questions from you guys, and it's going to be from Big Cock Club members specifically. Again, now we're probably going to limit it about 3 or 4 questions each interview because obviously we don't want to, run the interview 2 hours or anything, but going to open that up now to Big Cock Club members. So again, there's merchandise, there's the Discord, tons of perks for you guys, a 20% discount code, by the way, on all merchandise, which I think if you like the merch is alone worth joining the Big Cock Club, joining the Patreon, paying the $9.99 a month. But anyways, join the Big Cock Club. If you guys want to give back, support the business, you can do a multitude of ways, and I appreciate each and every single one of you for supporting and rocking with everything we do. Here, somebody says, Justin says, didn't Roth or Price just retire from the majors? Give them a shot. I'll tell you who they should give a shot probably is Blake Cooper. How about Blake Cooper? Steal him from the Citadel, man. You need a pitching coach. Bring back one of the all-time greats. He's done a really good job with Citadel. I know they didn't have the best year this year, but he's done a good job with Citadel. I say bring Blake Cooper back. Why not? Savannah Webster, is it a good thing to lose a wide receiver? Could we be better than we thought at wide receiver if he thinks he wasn't going to start? I don't look at it that way, Savannah. I think Mike Wyman has just been buried on the depth chart since he got here. Battled some injuries, and just if you're the 8th or 9th guy on the depth chart going into the season, I think it's probably one of those situations. And we've got let's say we've got a young wide receiver room, but Mike Wyman just wasn't a guy that was talked about. So I think it's a situation of playing time. I don't think it says that, I don't know. I'm not drawing those type of conclusions. I think it's just a guy that was buried on the depth chart and, wasn't going to play. Dusty Rhodes says, transfer portal strikes again, odd timing. Wonder if he saw the writing on the wall or maybe a problem with the staff. Again, I don't look at it as staff issues at all. I think it's I think it's just simply buried on the depth chart. Todd Smith, shoot me a DM. I will get you set up with the Discord thing. So Discord is simply an app, Todd. It's simply an app you download. It's an app you download. So I can walk you through it. I can even send you some resources on how to join it. It's very simple. It's really not that hard. So yeah, just shoot me a DM. I promise you today or at some point we will walk you through it. We will get you set up in it. Kyle Foster need a huge year from Ortre. I just need Ortre to be healthy. So I need Ortre Smith to be healthy, and that's it. So be healthy. I have sold. I hate to say this, guys. I've sold all my Ortre Smith stock until he proves to me he can be healthy. That's it. You're not going to hear me. I mean, Ortre Smith is not even in my top 5 wide receivers right now. I mean, he's not. Until he can prove he can be healthy, I'm not going to go out there with some crazy expectations for Ortre Smith. So just not doing it. So I think you're better off relying on guys like Jakari Caldwell and Rico Powers and Amarian Brown and E.J. Jenkins and Xavier Legette, even a Josh Vann. At least Josh Vann can get on the field. Ortre Smith can't even get on the field, man. So I hope he does. He showed a lot of – and that's the thing, dude. We're talking about a guy in Ortre Smith. I'm not trying to hate on the guy or not the guy, but I'm just speaking realistically here. We're talking about a guy, oh, man, he was great as a freshman. He showed his potential. That was 4 years ago, y'all. Do you realize that? That was 4 years ago that he did that. I mean, he hadn't done anything in 4 years. At some point, you just kind of are who you are. I hate to say that. I hope he proves me wrong. I hope he goes out and has a 1,000-yard season. But, I mean, until he can be on the field consistently healthy, it's hard to put any real expectations on the kid. Let's see. Heath Hagler, Panic Ritter, our pitching staff is doomed. Oh, my goodness. Todd Smith is listening from Houston, Texas, and it is hot. I bet it is hot. John Kruger, wide Wyman leave. Again, I think just buried in the depth chart. My guy, John Rice. I said earlier, what's going on, John? Appreciate you tuning in, sir. Travi Ruel says, agreed. Ortre is a triage. Is that how you say that? Yeah. Either way, it's just, I like Ortre. I want to see nothing but success for Ortre, but man, it's just one of those things that until he proves he can be healthy week after week after week and be a consistent contributor, it's just really hard for me to buy in and project him to be one of our guys. It's just really tough. Keith, what's going on? He says, whiteboard returned. Yes, we're back in the studio. Dude, I'm glad we're back in the studio too, because I have people like questioning me, asking me, Chris, did you move? Do you live in Columbia anymore? It's like, yes. I guess for the people that don't tune in every single day and don't know what's going on, yes, I still live here. I actually just renewed my lease. But, obviously you guys know I've been going home back and forth, helping out as much as possible. But we will be in studio all week, the rest of the week. So very excited for it, guys. Also, like I said, if you're in the city tonight, live from Tin Roof, 5 to 7, 2 hours of Gamecock chatter. I don't think we're going to have a guest tonight. I really just kind of want to see how things operate, how things go. Going to be a very casual, laid-back conversation, shooting the shit, talking Gamecocks, taking questions, taking calls, guys. Please feel free. Don't be afraid to call in, and let's chatter, man. It's going to be like a version of Carolina Calls, but on steroids, even better than Carolina Calls. So, Savannah Webster says, just saw on Twitter the welcome home announcement might be tomorrow. Now, Savannah, I'm just kind of waiting. Whenever it happens, it happens. Whenever the kid wants to announce, so be it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So we're just waiting along. Sean O'Brien, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. But yeah, somebody texted in. My guy John says more bad news. Wyman hit the board. I don't see it as bad news. I mean, listen, it's a very crowded wide receiver room. Like I said, we have the issue at wide receiver is not lack of bodies. We got a lot of bodies there. And I would imagine probably what happened, John and everyone else, I bet a guy like Omega Blake passed him on the depth chart. And it's just like one of them things where it's like, you know what, Mike, if you really want to get to the next level and you want to play, it's probably in your best interest to go elsewhere. You know what I mean? And you think too, like I said, guys, we're not going to be an offense that spreads it 5 wide every play. Like there's only going to be 3 or 4 wide receivers that are seeing the majority of the action every game. So if you're the 8th or 9th guy in the rotation, well, the odds are you're not going to be seeing very much action, if any. You're probably not even going to catch 10 passes this year. So probably made sense for a guy like Mike Wyman, if that was the case for him, to explore opportunities elsewhere. So Travi Roel says triage is in medical use the assignment of degrees of urgency to wounds or illnesses to decide the order of treatment of a large number of patients or casualties. LOL, military type term. Travi, I'm just a humble podcaster. I have no idea what you are talking about. I appreciate the SAT word of the day, though. Triage. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Jackson Gary, when is Oscar Delp committing? We're thinking some mid to late August is what we're thinking. Mid to late August. Thomas Walker, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in, sir. Thank you so much. Again, 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, comments, calls as well. Also, guys, feel free after the Daily Crow. You better get it in soon. If you want to leave a question for the podcast tomorrow, call in, text in. If you're in the Big Cock Club Discord, be sure to leave questions there as well. Please do so. Leave your questions. I will be tomorrow's podcast. We'll drop tomorrow morning. We'll have a great interview and we'll have the podcast. I will be breaking down the second half of South Carolina season, the last 6 games. So after tomorrow's show, you guys will know my full season predictions for Gamecocks football this upcoming year. So it's a big show, very big show. And we'll be talking about, of course, triage. Okay, I'm an idiot. Triage. But anyways, the podcast, very big one. We'll be talking about that, of course. That'll be the main focus. We'll talk about everything else that's going on. Very excited for that. But you guys, I'd love to take your questions, love to take your comments, love to take your predictions. If you got any of those, please be sure to leave those. Text in, call in, whatever it is. It's funny. The voicemails slow down this time of year, of course. But I tell you, the voicemails in season, incredible. I mean, I'll tell you this too. That's actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we have so many voicemails come in. I mean, guys, the voicemails in season after games, I mean, there's like 30, 40, 50 voicemails sometimes. It's crazy. I mean, we could have an entire podcast of just voicemails. So I normally have to pick 3 or 4, maybe 5 maximum, really 3 or 4. We might actually have to make a separate Big Cock Club hotline for Big Cock Club members to get their guests or their questions in for the podcast, because I'm telling you guys, there's so many voicemails that you can't get to them all. You just simply cannot get to them all. So we might have to do that, because I want to make sure Big Cock Club members, you guys are getting your questions answered, no question. And again, if you are in the Big Cock Club Discord and you want to leave your questions in the TDC Questions channel, you can most certainly do that. So, again, Travi, I apologize for butchering the word earlier. I apologize for not knowing what that meant. I appreciate you educating me on it, though. Jonathan Lee, any other recruits we need to look at that might be Gamecocks in the near future, looking at the Big Spur 2022 prospects, and we got some talent we are going after. Yeah, I mean, dude, at this point, everybody's fair game, man. Everybody's, of course, Keenan Nelson's been the hot name that everybody's excited about. Jamont Osmond, another one. Oscar Delp. I mean, tons of names out there right now. Tons of names out there. So, again, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Let's see. John Rice is guilty of leaving a few post-game voicemails after a few Miller lattes. We're all guilty, John, of consuming a few Miller lattes and Fireball mini bottles at the tailgate. We're all guilty of that. So, Thomas Walker, when is our Under Armour contract? I think 2023, I think, is when that expires. Brandon Owens, when do you think we find out if the baseball guys sign or return? I would think rather soon, within the next few weeks at the latest, I would say, because, hey, guys are going to come back. Guys, we have like a month. Students are back in a month. People are back on campus in like a month. So, if you're going to come back, I think that's something you want to go ahead and get figured out ASAP. So, let's see. Justin Langford says some of our senior wideouts would have been gone after this year. In my opinion, Wyman should have just waited his turn possibly because I would have liked to see how he looked in the field. Well, again, Justin, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. It might want to be one of those things where, again, Mike Wyman looks around and says, you know what? Maybe I'm not fit for this level. It might be one of those things. By the way, a quick plug to my vendor and the merch on the store. Just got this one in yesterday. If it ain't swaying, we ain't playing, guys. I told you guys before, and I'll tell you again, though. The new material, the new tanks that we are printing, the material is incredible. I highly suggest, again, especially if you like tank tops, definitely get them. This thing is so comfortable. Highly suggested. Highly suggested. Jonah Gaunt says, listening and eating at the Mexican restaurant had the volume turned up, and Chris says, big cock club, the looks I got. Sorry, Jonah. Hey, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Bottom line. Scott Staney, Mike Wyman enters the transfer portal. Could be good for the wide receiver position. Again, I don't really look at it as like, oh, man, it's a really good sign. I just look at it, again, as a guy that was just buried on the depth chart and is looking for playing time and probably needs to go elsewhere to do so. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So that's kind of how I look at it. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Thank you so much for the love and support, man. A night like tonight, and it's just the beginning, of course, live from Tin Roof, 5 to 7. Just stuff like that, man, opportunities like that to go live on site. And I love doing that type of stuff, by the way, to go live on location and to have a venue like Tin Roof reach out and want to work with us and give us the opportunity to work from there and do a show. It's incredible. And honestly, guys, it's a testament to the love and support you guys show, and wouldn't be possible without you guys, man, rocking with us, rocking with everything we do, rocking with the content. Obviously, again, content bleeding out of the eyeballs as of late. Things are going full speed ahead. I've been joking about it yesterday and today, but I'll keep saying it. It's really the truth. Football season started for yours truly yesterday. No other way to put it. But you know what? I love it, because how can you not have perspective right now, guys? I have my Time Hop app, and I see what I was tweeting last year and what was going on, and we didn't even know if we were going to have a season. And thank God we're not even close to dealing with that. Thank goodness. So appreciate you all tuning in, man. Just 52 days away from another Carolina kickoff. Very exciting. Very, very exciting stuff, man. Like I said, I appreciate you all tuning in. Really good stuff, man. Really, really good stuff. I will say this. Let's talk about the Skylar Meade thing. Of course, that's on top of everybody's mind, just happening this morning. Skylar Meade leaving South Carolina to take the head coaching job at Troy University for the Trojans. In case you missed that happened this morning. I kept preaching. I know people were critical of Skylar Meade, and it's very easy, of course, to be critical of the pitching coach. Oh, you left him in too long. Oh, you should have taken him out, blah, blah, blah. But Skylar Meade was one of and still is one of the best young and up-and-coming young coaches in the game of college baseball. So I'm not surprised at all. I hate to see it selfishly from the standpoint of, I loved having him at South Carolina, but I'm not shocked at all, and I'm actually happy for him. I'm happy for you. You get that type of opportunity, you got to take it. So very, very happy for Skylar Meade. Very well deserved. And I think he's going to do great things at Troy for sure. So Brian Welch says Under Armour deal runs through 2026. Okay. Thank you for updating. us. David Cuthbertson says got to decide by August 1st. I didn't know that was the date. Either way though, these guys will be deciding pretty quick. I think they'll be letting us know pretty quickly whether they are going to decide to come back or not. So, again, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. 3377. Appreciate you all tuning in. Feels good to be back in studio. Richard K texted earlier this morning, will Bosnick and Danny Lloyd come back? Bosnick, I think, is back. Lloyd, I'm 50-50 on. It will depend on money and what he gets offered. Let's jump to the phone lines real quick. Hey, Justin, what's going on, man? How are you?
Not much. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you asking, man. What's going on?
Well, hey, Chris, I just saw the news about assistant news for Troy. I just said it's something, Chris.
What, that you talking about Skylar Meade?
Yeah, it's unbelievable, you know.
Well, I mean, listen, you have good coaches on your staff, and that can happen. You know what I mean? Like I think it's a testament to the quality of coaches that you have on your coaching staff. It was only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time with Skylar Meade. Again, like I said, one of the best young and up and coming young coaches. I can't say that for some reason. One of the best up and coming young coaches in college baseball. So it was only a matter of time, I think, before that happened. And dude, listen, like I said, when you have good coaches on your staff, when you have really high quality coaches, especially like I said, when they're a young dude like Skylar Meade is, that's one of his goals is to be a head coach at some point, or at least you figure. So, it's not a knock on the South Carolina program. If anything, it speaks to volumes to how good the program is. I mean, our pitching coach is good enough to be a head coach somewhere. So, wish him the best. And I hate we lost him, but I'm very confident that Mark Kingston will hire someone, more than capable of taking over and filling in that spot for sure. So.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. Hey, Chris, think about this is, listen, we can't control what's happening around the program,
Yeah, I mean, no, for sure. We just have to react. Now, we can't control what's going on behind closed doors. And, I think that's something that, like, for example, the Mike Wyman thing, him in the transfer portal, people just see it and they draw their own conclusions. And you have to, take it in for what it is. But again, you don't know everything that's going on. You just don't. You don't know everything that's going on behind closed doors. So, like with the Mike Wyman thing, you can guess of why he hit the portal, but there might be things we have no clue about. And there probably are. You know what I mean? So just take it for what it is and keep it moving. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, yeah. And Chris, think about him. He didn't play that much last season,
Mike Wyman didn't touch the field, Justin. So Mike Wyman didn't even touch the field. He was hurt. And then, he just was buried in the depth chart. I don't even know if he dressed last year, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, it's probably a situation of, he wants an opportunity to play. I mean, you can't blame you can't blame the kids for wanting to play, man. I mean, and not everybody can play. I mean, you got a roster of like 90 guys. Only 22 start, right? Realistically, only 44 play. So you got to go somewhere you can play. So if Mike Wyman, he's got aspirations to the next level, hey, young man, go chase it. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. So, but I don't draw any conclusions of like, oh man, that must mean our wide receiver room's really good if we got somebody transferring. Like, nah, I just think when you're the 9th or 10th option, like that's kind of the decision you have to make. I mean, he didn't just come to college just to put on the jersey and look cool walking around campus and all that. Like the guy wants to play. So, can't blame him and wish him the best.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. Hey, Chris, think about it. Listen, he wants to go to the school that wants him,
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think we wanted him. I don't think it's anything like that. It's just, hey, everybody else comes to campus to play too. And, you just compete for a job and other guys win the positions and that's that. So I don't think it's, I just think we want guys that, I think we just want guys that are going to win their spots and produce. I mean, that's it. It's nothing personal, It's nothing personal. You just line up and whoever wins the job and you go from there. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree, Chris. Hey, Chris, think about it is you got to be patient, and this thing is going to take a minute,
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, I think, and listen, I think South Carolina fans, I think we all have realistic expectations. I think for the most part, from what I've seen, I think that fans have realistic expectations, but certainly, yeah, I mean, you got to preach patience. It's going to take time, and I hate to say this, and I don't say this in a negative way, but I would not be surprised if there is a moment this season in a game we lose or how we lose it that it's going to be a humbling reminder that it is going to take time. Like, you're going to have to build the roster, man. You're going to have to build this thing up. Bottom line, I mean, hey, a coach can only do so much, man. Like I said, a coach can only do so much. You got to go out and get the Jimmies and Joes too. So you got to give Shane Beamer time to, establish, his culture, build up his program, get this thing running. So yeah, I mean, it's going to take time. You got to be patient. The joy is in the journey though. And I'm looking forward to it, but yeah, definitely. I think, fans, I like to think fans for the most part, understand that. I think people understand that it's going to be a process, man. I mean, this is a program that won a combined 6 games the last 2 years. That's why I keep saying, if you go 6-6 this year, if you make a bowl, bro, that's a fantastic year. You've won a combined 6 the last 2 years. You win 6 in year 1 of Beamer, it's a great year. There's no other way to look at it. It's a great year. So I think for the most part, though, I do like to think fans understand that it's going to be a process. Let's be patient. Let's enjoy the ride while we're in it. And let's give Coach Beamer time to build this thing up.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. Hey, Chris, the thing about this is, listen, look, you gotta have faith in the man, man. Hey, Chris, think about faith. You say, oh, he'll get us to a bowl game next 2 or 3 years. He's gone.
I mean, do you hear a lot of people saying that? I'm curious. Do you hear a lot of people saying that?
No, you don't.
I mean, I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Like, I don't know if like the people you hang out with or talk to, if that's what they're saying. I mean, I don't think you can go into the Shane Beamer era with like this hard, rigid timestamp of like, well, if we're not doing this by year 3, if we're not doing this by year 4, or this by year 5. I mean, certainly you got to see progress, right? I mean, you have to. I mean, that was, I had some people try to come at me when Shane Beamer was hired, say, oh, you'll be the first one to call for his head, when and this and that. Well, I'm like, well, I mean, if it's year 5 and we lose to a freshman quarterback and a first-year head coach at North Carolina, and yeah, I might start to raise an eyebrow and start to question some things for sure, because you just don't get 10 years to build a program. So certainly you got to show progress. I mean, no question, but what does progress look like? You know what I mean? I think that's what's going to be interesting to really quantify progress. I think minimum expectation, get into a bowl game every year, of course. I mean, that's what we all want to see. But and I think certainly Gamecock fans, I know I am, are going to be much more willing to be patient because he's a Gamecock. It's not like he's a Georgia alum or a Florida alum. This is a guy that really, kind of built himself up, one of his stops at the University of South Carolina. So I think fans are going to be much more willing to be patient. But yeah, I don't know that you can really go into the Shane Beamer era saying, oh, well, by year 5, we got to be in the SEC title game. I mean, that would be ideal. That would be nice. But hey, Shane Beamer's never been a head coach. He's going to get better too. He's going to learn on the job. I mean, I'm sure, and it wouldn't make sense if this wasn't the case. I'm sure in year 5, Shane Beamer will look back and say, man, I'm a much better coach in year 5 than I was in year 1. So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Coach Beamer. And like I said, I'm excited to see how this thing evolves and him obviously instill his culture and instill everything he's got going on. And, I've said this before and I'll say it again. The one guarantee I'm willing to go out there and make about Shane Beamer, I don't know how many games we're going to win. I don't know if we're ever going to win the East. I don't know if we're ever going to win a national championship, God forbid. But I do feel confident that no matter what happens, whether he coaches here 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, whatever, is I think he'll leave the program better off than he found it. And that, it's not always the case with a lot of coaches. And that is, I think that is a huge positive and a selling point. So, you just got to kind of take it year by year, man. I'm not in my mind saying, okay, we got to win 6 this year. We got to win 8 next year. We got to win 10 the next. Teams change. The conference is going to evolve. The SEC East is going to evolve. I mean, things are going to happen. You just want to see progress. Bottom line. That's what you did not see with the last regime. You won some big games, but man, you can't win 9 in year 2 and then win 7 in year 3 and then win 4 in year 4 and then win 2 in year 5. You just can't do it. You cannot do that. So, those big wins become for naught, because you're making zero progress. So it's all about progress. He knows that. We know that. And that's why I've said many times, man, it's the honeymoon phase. Everything's great right now. And that's fine and dandy. But hey, these coaches are paid to win football games. You got to go out there on the field, play. You got to do it. And, excited to see it happen in Shane Beamer's first year. It's going to be fun, if nothing else. So.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. Hey, Chris, and like I said, man, we're gonna fight this thing through. And you know what? Shane Beamer's gonna be a bad guy. Who knows? Everybody, he might be a bad coach, but 6 years from now, you know.
Yeah, I mean, dude, yeah, like I said, I feel very good about Shane Beamer in this season moving forward. I mean, you know, I talked to a former player this morning who played 2008 to 2010 that, you know, was obviously very well acquainted with Shane Beamer. He feels good about it. All the Gamecock legends I've talked to, they feel good about it. So I feel good about it, man. We'll see what happens. You know, I'm buckled in. I'm all aboard the Shane train. And hey, you know what, man? I look at it this way: even if it doesn't work out, if we go down swinging, we go down swinging with one of our own. Bottom line. So,
oh yeah,
is what it is.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. Hey, Chris. Well, that's all to say, man.
Hey, Justin, I appreciate the call as always, man. Appreciate you. Take care.
You too, man. We'll talk again probably soon. Yes,
sir. Thanks, brother. Good stuff. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. We got a text here. I've heard from multiple assistant college coaches around the country that Skylar Meade isn't as good as advertised. Well, I mean, hey, you heard that. I've heard other things, whatever. I guess, you know, is what it is. I think Meade's a really good coach. You know, the pitching staff was outstanding this year. That wasn't by accident. So, you know, listen, it is what it is, man. There's always going to be somebody that's got something to say. It's just the nature of the beast. But I don't know. I don't think you get a head coaching job in college baseball if you're not a pretty damn good coach. So, you know. Let's see, guys. 843-790-3377, guys. That's 843-790-3377. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Busy day. Very, very busy day. Brian Ruddy, Delp announcement today. I do not think today is that day. No, I know people are scrambling because Shane Beamer tweeted welcome home. Today's not that day. No, dude, Oscar Delp's not going to be till like a mid or late August announcement from what I've heard. So I'd be pretty shocked if he committed today. Would be pretty shocked. Let's see. David says, do you think Landon Powell would come as an assistant like the Blake Cooper pick? How do you feel about Scott Wingo coming back? Would love to see Wingo. Would love to see Cooper. With Landon Powell, man, I know it's going from D2 to D1, but, bro, he's got such a good thing rolling up there. I don't know. I don't see that. I don't see that. He's got such a good thing rolling up there at North Greenville. I mean, they're crushing people. So, Brack, what's going on, man? Appreciate you tuning in, Brack. Joshua Jenkins, yes. Brett Carey is definitely gone. Lance Player, what's going on, man? Appreciate you. TJ Carter, who will be our starting quarterback this year? Luke Doty. Period. That's it. Luke Doty. Spare the dramatics. Luke Doty. So, there's a reason Shane Beamer named Luke Doty QB1 after the spring game. Bottom line. Courtney Washington, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in, Courtney. How are you? Appreciate it. Doug Henry says cock-a-doodle-doo. How about this? Shout out to Doug Henry, by the way, man. Doug Henry has been along for the ride since the Armchair South Gunna days, since we had 100 followers, I feel like. So, Doug Henry, appreciate you, Doug. Thank you so much, man. It's been a wild ride, hasn't it? We're not even close to done yet. Brian Welch says E.J. Jenkins ranks 115, Prunty ranked number 54, and Strawn ranked number 18 in transfers for 247 Sports top 150 transfer list this year so far. Yeah, we've got some good ones. I feel good, man. I think Shane Beamer and company did a hell of a job addressing, you know, a lot of our concerns, a lot of our issues through the transfer portal. So, Courtney says, good, ready for some Gamecock sports. I hear you. Brandon Owen says, do you think Wes would come back even if he isn't playing at summer ball this summer? I think Wes is going to sign. If that's the question you're asking, I think Wes is going to sign. No question. I think Wes is going to sign. Yep. I think Wes is going to sign. Absolutely. Thomas Walker, what Yardcock player has had the most successful career in MLB? JBJ or Merrifield? It's got to be Merrifield. I mean, I understand JBJ won the ALCS MVP, I guess it was, but bro, Whit Merrifield leading the major leagues in hitting, most hits in the majors. I think I got to roll with Witt. It's close, though. They've opened really, really good. Courtney Washington, are y'all watching Dawn Staley coaching in the WNBA All-Star game tonight? That is tonight. What time is that at? I'm live from Tin Roof 5 to 7. So if it's after that, I'll have to cut that on for sure. TJ Carter says Luke was doing amazing things at the beach. He was a very good high school player, hence why he is at South Carolina now. So, yeah. Luke Doty's a good player, man. I'm excited. I'm very excited for Luke Doty. Joshua Jenkins, Chris, are you going to be doing live watch-alongs for away games? Well, Josh, I will be at ECU, Tennessee, and Georgia. So the only other two are A&M and Missouri. So maybe for those, I think a watch party, honestly, would be really cool. And we could actually do like a live watch-along stream from the watch party, if you will. I think that would be really, really cool. But I mean, I love the live watch-alongs, guys. I really, really do. I think they're awesome. But being in the stadium, I mean, that's a pretty cool thing too. You know what I mean? So, I don't know though. That's a really good question. That's a really good question. I as we get closer, I'll be figuring all of that out for sure. But I'm definitely looking forward to taking some road trips this year, no doubt. I'm looking forward to taking some really big road trips. TJ Carter, are we still going after Gunnar Stockton? No, we're not. No, we got Braden Davis. Gunnar Stockton's a dog. No, didn't Gunnar Stockton sign? By the way, like isn't he on Georgia's roster now? Yeah, pretty sure. No, he just committed. No, he will be signing. Gunnar Stockton will be signing. Now we are done with Gunnar Stockton, TJ. We are done. We've got Braden Davis. I mean, I highly doubt they're even in contact with the kid. Again, guys, quick reminder. Tonight, live from Tin Roof. Wednesdays at Tin Roof, starting tonight. Every Wednesday, guys. Every single Wednesday. 5 to 7. Come on out if you can be there. In the Vista, downtown Columbia, off Senate Street. You guys know exactly where I'm talking about. Tin Roof. In the Vista, 5 to 7. Also streaming it, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, just like we're doing here. So if you can't be there, tune in, leave your questions, comments, everything else. A lot of you have asked, Chris, is it going to be just like the Daily Crow? No, it's going to be different for sure. Again, when you're live on location, we'll be taking questions from people live on location. And tonight will be very interesting in regards to how the show is going to flow. But it's going to be a very relaxed, conversational thing. We're going to have guests stop by every now and then. I don't think we'll have any guests tonight just because it's the first go around. I kind of want to get settled in and see how things go. But again, we're going to be live every single Wednesday. Every single one. So going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a really, really good time. Very relaxing, very conversational, shooting the shit, talking Gamecocks. Going to be a blast. That is 5 to 7 at Tin Roof. Also, of course, the NCAA streams, the Dynasty, play in 2021. The season on Heisman begins tonight. Or excuse me, began last night. It keeps going tonight. We play East Carolina tonight, 9 o'clock kickoff. We will do that. So, appreciate you all tuning in that last night. We had a lot of fun. It's going to be very interesting playing this season on Heisman. That is for damn sure. Let's see. Thomas Walker has got to make it to Rivals before the season starts too. Yes, the Beamer Ball hats will be getting there very, very soon over the next week or two. Or over probably the next 2 to 3 weeks. Dusty Rhodes, any updates on Garcia taking that coaching job? I don't have any new updates, but I am heading out to Stephen Garcia and Perry Orth's QB1 camp Friday. I'll be out there, so maybe we'll chat about that. Also, we'll be together Saturday at the Steel Hands event. Very excited for that training camp Steel Hands event. Going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, guys, we got a very fun next couple of days, and we're in football now. We're in football now. Yours truly, we're going nonstop content. Like I said, bleeding out the eyeballs. Tons of craziness going on. We love it. We love it. We love it. So appreciate y'all being along for the ride, man. Again, if you like content, if you love our content, you're just in for a treat because it's going to be freaking nonstop. You think about what Wednesdays are now, guys. We're live on the Daily Crow noon to 1, and we're going live at Tin Roof 5 to 7. So, I mean, just nonstop content. And hey, at some point, we are going to do 2-hour Daily Crows. We're going to expand the Daily Crow 12 to 2, And then we'll be live 5 to 7 from Tin Roof. So it's going to be a hell of a time. I mean, it's going to be content overload. Wednesdays for yours truly are going to be slam-packed days. But you know what? We love it. We love it. We love it. TJ Carter, I don't know why, but I'm excited about this season for some reason. TJ, you should be excited for the season. What do you mean? Hell yeah, you should be excited. Brand new coach, a new era beginning. We should all be excited. Hell yeah. I'm freaking fired up, man. I'm absolutely fired up. Ready to go. Heck, I'll probably right after the Daily Crow today be jumping off, putting my script together, and we're going to be recording tomorrow's show right after this. So, I mean, dude, I'm freaking as fired up as I'm as fired up for a football season as I've been in quite some time. And I know some people say, "Oh, I'm just as fired up as I was last year." That's bullshit. Don't play that game with me. You're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Bottom line. By the way, here's a fun topic. Let's see if we can ruffle some feathers here. We got 15 minutes left. Let's see if we can ruffle some feathers. So I released a clip yesterday, right, of East Carolina is my most important game of the 2021 season, and I'm willing to die on that hill. I understand the argument for Kentucky. I do. But to me, ECU is the most important game of the season. And again, I talked about it, why it is, because, hey, you can lose to Kentucky, you can lose to Auburn, you can lose to Florida, you can lose to Tennessee, you can lose to Mizzou. You can lose any of those games and still get to 6 wins. It's possible. You can. You can lose any of those games I mentioned, still get to 6 wins. You cannot lose to East Carolina and get to 6 wins. You just can't do it. I don't believe it. I think if you lose to ECU, the climbing the mountain of getting to a bowl game is going to be damn near an impossible task. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I think you just got to take advantage of your non-conference. You got to take advantage and beat a team like East Carolina in week 2. I had some fans, though, not many, but some, commenting saying, "Oh, no, Chris, the Clemson game is the most important game of the year." And I don't understand that. I don't get that. I don't get that. And I guess maybe these are the same people that fall in the crowd of, well, the most important game is the next one. Okay, Johnny Slapdick, we get it. But you understand what I am doing, right? We're making content. We're talking about the season upcoming. Like, don't say something dumb like that. The most important game's the next one. Okay, coach, I get it, right? But to say the Clemson game is the most important, bro, it might be the 6th most important game of the year. Bottom line, it might be the 6th most important. Like, dude, I mean, the rivalry's important. I hate Clemson. I want to win the game. But we need to worry about just getting good in the conference, just like Coach Spurrier preached when he took the job. Like, bro, beating Clemson, we need to worry about winning the SEC East. We do that, we'll beat Clemson. Beating Clemson will take care of itself. We need not worry about anything Clemson is doing. Clemson shouldn't even be on our radar until that week comes in November. Really, just shouldn't. Bottom line. And if you're saying the Clemson game is the most important game of the season, well, you're going to be, I hate to say this, you're just setting yourself up for misery and heartache. If you judge your entire season on that game, right now, I hate to say that, but you are. You're setting yourself up for misery and heartache. So I just don't, I understand, like, people, see, I don't have to deal with, like, I don't have Clemson friends. I don't have interactions or, you know, I don't cross paths with many Clemson folks. I'll be totally honest with you, especially living in Columbia. I just don't. I know there's some of you out there that you deal with Clemson fans on a day-to-day basis, and that smack talk 24/7, 365 is, it really takes a toll on you. I hear you. I get it. But to say it's the most important game, I guess listen, I get maybe Johnny Slapdick was a little harsh, but I get, like, the thinking of wanting to win that game. But if you sit down and we actually have a realistic conversation, it's not the most important game. It's not. It's not even close. It's important. It's important for its own reason. It is important for its own reason, but it's not the most important game of the year. Courtney Washington says, no disrespect to anyone, but I don't think we have enough dogs to bark up the Clemson tree at this moment. Like I said, I just think right now in the state of the rivalry, if you are basing your happiness or your satisfaction of the year off of that Carolina Clemson game, you're setting yourself up for heartbreak and misery. I mean, you just are. Let's just call it for what it is. So I'll be very intrigued. I'll be very intrigued to see how Shane Beamer fares in his first Carolina Clemson game. Because while you don't have the talent, you don't have the talent right now. Let's call it what it is. You don't have the talent right now. You don't. You don't have the talent to beat Clemson. If you beat them, it is a massive upset, right? I think we can all agree. You're going to be just like you are in Georgia. You're probably going to be a 24-point underdog, something like that. You'll be a 3-touchdown underdog at least. But even with that being said, it is a rivalry game. And what we saw from the previous staff, the previous regime, it was not even competitive. It wasn't even a competitive game anymore. Can Shane Beamer, at least give Clemson somewhat of a scare? Can he at least bring some life back to the rivalry? Because right now there is none, guys. Y'all remember the last time we played Clemson? When you're losing 38-3, there's no life in that rivalry game. None at all. So hopefully, I'm not even looking for a win this year against Clemson. I'm just looking to see, hey, when they punch us, can we punch them back? Can we just punch them back? So, we'll see. We'll see. But I think to just, I know some fans do it, and the whole mantra of, well, you can go, I'd rather go 1-11 than 11-1. Like I hear you, man, on that whole mantra and how important the game is, but I think right now, if you're basing your happiness and you're judging a season on its success on if you win or lose that game, you're just setting yourself up for failure right now. I hate to say that. Chase Floyd, hey Chris, how do you think Beamer will get the students to stay in the game? I feel like the last few years they thin out early, even in close games. Well, they do have that program at USC where you get points for staying to the fourth quarter, right? I think being good will help. Honestly, I think being good will help. So, Jalen the journalist says CFB podcast. Jalen, I guess maybe you're new to the channel. He's tuning in from Twitch. So this is the Spurs Up Show, which is a Gamecocks media entity. Yes, podcast, everything. We make all types of content. So welcome aboard, Jalen. Yeah, if you like SEC football, you can get some very good insight. I'm a little biased, I guess, saying that, but you can get some very good insight on South Carolina specifically. So, yeah, welcome aboard, man. Welcome aboard. Appreciate it. Check us out. Brian Welch, rivalry week is a class of its own for us. If you understand the process in building a program like we saw Spurrier do, you understand that there are more important games than the Clemson game. Jalen the journalist, yesterday you knew. Welcome, Jalen. Appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, we talk all things and everything's Gamecocks. Obviously, the name, the Spurs Up Show, I'm sure gives that away. But, yeah, definitely talk SEC football, too, and SEC sports, and talk football, baseball, basketball, all of it. So, yeah, if you want to keep up with what the Gamecocks are doing, you found the best place to do so. I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. Joshua Jenkins, remember what happened the last time we went to Athens. Josh, I totally get it, but you cannot bank on a monumental, absurd upset again. That's why I'm picking Georgia to win 38-17, to be totally honest with you. Like, I'm picking Georgia to have their way with this. I think they're going to kick our teeth in. I think it's going to be a humbling game. I think fans are going to realize that it is going to be a process, and we do have to be patient. We got to go out there and recruit the Jimmies and Joes. We're not on that level yet. We're not on that level yet, guys. Bottom line, we're not. I think maybe our starting 22 can, be very competitive, but depth-wise, especially, we're not on that level. We're not. So, Kenneth Jackson says, if Harris has a great year running the ball, how many games will we have to win? I think what you meant, I don't know. If Harris has a great year running the ball, certainly getting to a bowl game, I think is very realistic. I think it is. Tyler Knoll, the narrative of some of these fans and analysts that say Luke can't throw the ball is very much laughable, to say the least. Yeah, again, I think it's the worst narrative surrounding Gamecock football. Dude, go back and look at the spring game. Like, I question, did people watch the spring game? So, did people watch the spring game? Luke Doty can throw the football. That's it, period. And Shane Beamer even reiterated that after the spring game. We feel confident in Luke Doty throwing the deep ball. We've seen him throw the deep ball. He literally said, Shane Beamer said, if your lead storyline or your topic is he can't throw the deep ball, find a new one. Because it's just not true. Am I sitting here saying Luke Doty is the greatest passer in college football? No, I am not. But he's more than serviceable in the sense of he can throw the ball. This whole narrative that he just, oh my God, he just can't throw it at all. It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous, bro. Brandon Ward has got my TSUS merch yesterday. Now waiting on the start of the season. Go Cox. Brandon, appreciate you. Seriously. I appreciate it, dude. Honestly, man, all you guys love and support of the merch. And hey, if you need your Beamer merch, man, especially any of it, Shane Storm, Beamer Ball, all aboard the Shane train, the hats, the shirts. We're going to have, we've got hoodies still too. It's going to get cold this season. Be sure to get it. You want to make sure you have your stuff by kickoff. Also, the koozies, the Beamer Ball and Welcome Home koozies. Be sure to get those ordered as well. You want to make sure it's there in time for kickoff. And I know we got 52 days, but I'm just saying, go ahead and take care of it now. So you're not waiting last minute, because probably we get to, I'd say like August 15th. That's probably going to be the last day that I can really guarantee, I can guarantee you, no doubt, it will be there in time for kickoff. So, hey, why wait? Just take care of it now. Why wait? TJ Carter says, I see us getting to 8 wins. I think that's the ceiling, TJ. I think 8 wins is probably your best case scenario. I think that's probably your best case scenario. We're being totally honest. Let's see. Andrew Seymour, we need to worry about being competitive against UT, Florida, Kentucky, and Auburn before we worry about upsetting the elites. Tyrell Campbell Sr. says 7 wins in a bowl game win is solid. 8 wins. Go Cox. That would be an incredible first year, Tyrell. And I'm not saying that in a way like, oh, that's not possible. I'm just saying that would be a dream first year for Shane Beamer. A dream first year. Kenneth Jackson. I meant for Harris to win the Heisman. Oh, how many wins we need? Dude, we'd probably had to go to the SEC championship. I mean, it's just the Heisman goes to the best player on the best team. You're not going to be a 5 or 6 win team and have a guy win the Heisman. It's just not going to happen. So Ron Wilson says, can't wait to get my Big Cock Club stuff. Yes, appreciate it, Ron. I got the T-shirt yesterday in the mail with the tanks and stuff. Dude, it's fire. It's so fire. Justin Martin, I hope we get the Beamer Ball stuff soon. Wish me luck, Chris. Yeah, Justin, you will. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Brian Welch, Satterfield has already said Doty has one of the most natural throwing arms he's seen on a quarterback at this level. Doty is a quarterback first with the blessing of being able to run a 4.40. Yeah, again, like I said, man, we heard enough good things. I think people are just so stuck on what Doty did in his in the last 3 games last year. And dude, you can't judge Luke Doty after stepping into a dumpster fire of a situation. I mean, that was a terrible situation. It was absolutely terrible. So I feel good about Luke Doty, and hey, he's going to have to prove it on the field just like everybody else, but I think he's more than capable of being a very solid player for us. So Jason Slice, I'm hesitant to even read your comment, but he says Marshawn would have to go down for Harris to win the Heisman. Well, let's not say that. Let's not even put that energy out there in the universe. But no, I'll tell you this. I think Kevin Harris's numbers are actually going to dip a little bit because of the emergence of Marshawn Lloyd. Just how good is Marshawn Lloyd going to be? Just how much of the carries and how much production is Marshawn Lloyd going to take from Kevin Harris? I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm not going to go out here and say he's going to be running back 1, but I will tell you this, guys. As much as we love Kevin Harris, if Marshawn Lloyd is as good as the player that, we expect him to be, the guy that if he's as good as advertised as he was on the recruiting trail, he's the best running back on the roster. There's no other way to put it. So, but it's a great problem to have, man. We got 2 great backs. In Harris and Lloyd. I think you'll see a 1A, 1B type system. Both guys will play, no doubt in my mind. So, really excited for it. Really excited for, what's to come with the running game. And especially you factor in, you put in an athletic quarterback like Luke Doty. It's only going to make things, it's going to be a very dynamic offense. I'm going to talk offense, defense, special teams more starting next week. We're going to break down those actual units, and then we'll do our position unit previews as well. But I do think the Gamecocks offense is going to be much improved this year. I really do. I think having that true dual threat quarterback, I think it's going to make the biggest difference in the world, man. I really do. I think it's going to add that dynamic nature to South Carolina's offense. And hey, Shane Beamer and company, they know we got to score points. You got to score points to win in college football now. So, all right, cool. Guys, it's 1 o'clock. I'm going to run. Again, we're on a very tight schedule today. A lot going on. Being busy is a blessing. I appreciate you. Thank you all so much for the continued love and support. You guys tuning in. Feels good to be back in studio. Again, guys, like I said, 5 to 7 tonight. Live at Tin Roof. Wednesdays at Tin Roof. First ever edition tonight. We'll go live at 5 o'clock. If you're in the area, you're in the city, come on out to Tin Roof in the Vista. Going to be a great time. If you can't make it, tune in. We'll be streaming it live. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, live on location at Tin Roof. Also, guys, of course, the Dynasty, playing the Dynasty on Heisman. Those streams continue tonight, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, we will take on East Carolina. East Carolina. We'll take on the ECU Pirates. Podcast out tomorrow, guys. We got tons of content rolling. Stay tuned for that. Last question, then we'll get out of here. Tony Stockman says, been a long time since I've listened to your show since my retirement. Still enjoy your show. Thank you so much, Tony. He says, how do you think recruiting will end up this year? Just waiting on Dabo to quit, since he said he would if players get money, even though the one giving it to them. I think recruiting will end up really, really well. And Dabo, hey, man of his word, right? I'm sure he'll quit anytime now. For sure. All right, guys. Hey, y'all have a great rest of your Wednesday. Appreciate you tuning in, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks so much, guys.